Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of 10 Minute Marvel. Today we are continuing on our ranking of the MCU, plus the tiny bit of news and rumors that has shown up for this week. I am the person with the list that shocked you the most last time. Will that trend continue? I'm Petter, and with the boring, bland, white toast of list, we have the co-host.
Welcome back, Ryan.
Hey, hello. I don't know if he was talking about me, but I'm glad to say hi. I'll take that bullet.
I dodged it.
I'll take the bullet.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back, everybody.
Yeah, no
If you're
problem.
looking for ways to support us, you can
What's your
find us
name?
on our YouTube channel. What's that?
What's your name?
Oh, nobody cares. You can search for us 10 Minute Marvel on YouTube. Give us a like and smash that subscribe button. Find and follow us on Facebook and other thing with an X. Hashtag 10 Minute Marvel. 10 Min Marvel. Repeat that one. And of course, you can leave a rating and review wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcast from. This is Greg, everybody. We're going to go into the news or rumors. Petter, you choose.
As always, I will choose rumors
And we should
first.
say, literally now for sure, thank you, Ryan, for coming back. We should.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So, first rumor, a couple of them around Doomsday, actually. The first one being that a character who has been in the MCU for 10 or more years is going to be killed off in Doomsday at the hands of Doctor Doom. Who do you think that could be?
And Thor, right? I mean, who else is? Well, I guess 10 years really isn't that long when we think about.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, Brie
Captain
Larson.
Has Brie Larson been 10? When was Endgame? 1918?
Endgame was 2018. So she has
Not
not.
quite been 10
Oh.
years.
Yep.
Okay.
Could be
Ant-Man.
Hulk, Mark Ruffalo, 10 years.
Yep.
Easily. Thor, 10 years.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, 10 years. Yep. Could be any of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, the list is very long.
Yes.
True.
Yes, it is.
And it could be Drax, right? Like, I know he wants to be done with. I know he said that he was done, but if they were like, here's, $10 million to come back and be killed by Dr. Doom, he might do that. But that's
Yeah.
I would
Right.
put that on the low end of the pool.
He'll just have it in his contract, like, I just need a shirt, and then that's all he can. Like, he doesn't want to go through the paint, right? Of
Yes.
having to do all that cosmetic stuff. So I could see him do that.
Mhm.
Chris Evans probably just peace out.
It could be Chris Evans. It could be a bait and switch that Chris Evans comes back as an alternate, because we know this is like we're talking about the incursions, so
Yep.
it's very possible that we see an alternate Earth Doctor Doom killing Captain America as like the introduction to this whole like new multiverse section. But I don't know. I think that would be rough to bring him back just to kill him off.
I mean, they did
Yeah.
that for Deadpool and Wolverine.
That was funny though.
Yes, that was. I don't think it would quite have the same humorous effect.
Agreed. Probably not.
Yeah. So, speaking of Doctor Doom, it kind of came out kind of a description of what Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom could be like, described as a master of science, skilled in powerful magic, able to cause the crisis that threatens the entire multiverse.
So it's like Dr. Dolittle and Sherlock Holmes together into one character.
Right. Or it's like somebody read the Time Runs Out storyline.
Well, it's saying like that he has the power to destroy the multiverse, so it's not like that wording is a little tricky because like in that storyline, the Time Runs Out storyline, technically Doom saves the multiverse.
Yes, but he also is working with Molecule Man to
Right, which
capture all the different Molecule Men, which is causing the universe or the other universes to be destroyed.
though I think in this one, I don't know. I have a very strong feeling that Molecule Man. I don't know if you talked about this on your podcast. I haven't listened to every episode. I'm sorry to admit that, but I was going to discuss the fact that it's probably going to be Franklin.
Thanks for joining us, Ryan. We'll see you later.
I think that Molecule Man role will be played by Franklin
Yeah.
in this version of the MCU. So that's my
Yeah.
expectation.
Yeah, we've discussed something like that before, and we've discussed that it's too late to introduce Molecule Man
Yeah.
at this point. So,
No, I mean Superman literally introduced Metamorpho like just out of nowhere. They were just like, by the way, here he is. So like it's not like they couldn't just be like Dr. Doom's like, I have this guy. His name is Molecule Man. He can rearrange molecules. Okay.
yeah.
That's true.
I
But
don't
to
like
make him
it, but
yeah, to make him a linchpin of like the whole that's why incursions are happening or universes are blipping out of existence would feel unearned, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't like it. They could.
I think Gunn can get by with it because he's establishing things early now. But yeah, to toss that in the Marvel universe to do it like that without having some history of it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's the hard that's the rock and the hard place that Marvel is in right now. Not to get too off topic, but like
Oh,
any character they introduce, unless it's another origin story, they have to explain like where has this guy been for 10 years or like whatever. Like has he been hiding? Like this guy Molecule Man's been hiding under a rock for 20 years. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's like it's getting like you're right. DC they could just introduce whoever. We don't ever have to like it's the first movie. We don't have to explain where they've been. Like
mhm.
they're here. And so like, but yeah, Marvel just like any new character Marvel introduces, everyone just asks immediately like, well, why weren't they there for this thing or that thing?
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes I'm like, that's a valid question. Sometimes I'm like, you're trying really hard to find something to complain about, um, depending on who it is. I think, like with Molecule Man, you could at least explain it away with, well, he knows his powers are absolutely absurd and broken, and he doesn't want anybody to abuse them, so he's just stayed in hiding.
What what happened to Molecule Man at the end, the very end
You got
of
a
the
cheeseburger?
right? Thank you, Miles, for that. But like just so that kind of makes me wonder what to do with Franklin, right? He's very, very powerful, obviously. So to put him as the Molecule Man, what happened in the story arc? What happened to Molecule Man at the end? Was he still
He's,
around?
yeah,
I
he's
don't.
still around. He's just no longer that linchpin being for all the universes, kind of being having been placed there by the Beyonders.
Yeah.
Don't
They're saying,
forget
what do
So,
you do with Franklin after? If he becomes that, just his power set, what do you do after this with
the
Lost in,
MC,
Franklin?
the MCU has that Lynchman character that's tying all the multiverses together in the form of Loki. So it's very, very
yeah,
possible that if something happens to Loki, that they could write off Franklin the same way and just have him step into that
yep,
role of like keeping the timeline pure or whatever, secure or whatever.
Yeah.
yep. I think you could do that. I think you could also do kind of a future foundation, more of the various kids and aliens that they've picked up in that group, and do kind of a Lost in Space, like universe hopping, more of an adventure sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like Franklin can create a new universe and they go and explore it, but you write it in that like, well, he can create a new universe, but it takes a while for the cosmic energy to build back up in him. That's why he can't just fix every problem.
Hmm. All right then.
That's yeah, that's what I would like. So that was it for rumors. News-wise, we did have a teaser image from the Russos that appears to be Reed
Cryptic.
Richards, yeah, Reed Richards chalkboard potentially. Just everything's kind of blurred out.
Did anything come from that? Like, did anybody break it down? I
Um
didn't watch. I looked at
I
it briefly and I'm like, I don't see much. But
yeah, I was like I see the blackboard, so I'm just going to stop there.
mhm.
I'm assuming there was part of it that maybe looked like a wormhole type thing in the graphics, so it might very well be from what we've seen of Reed Richards' Blackboard already.
It's kind of a dud. I'm just surprised they would
Kind of,
release something like that and then be like, or maybe it's just like, here,
yeah,
let's let them chew on this for a little while, see if they can find anything and make something up, and then it
yeah.
really just turns out to be nothing.
I
I've
think there's.
I've seen people try to really dive in and figure out what every word on there was.
Mhm. Has anybody come close?
No.
No. I this would be one of those things where I wish they in I'm not sure that Marvel has the team and Disney have the team necessarily who would know how to do it, but it makes me think of like there have been some groups that have released hidden messages in pictures encoded in the like the raw data or stuff like that,
Mm.
and to really create kind of a puzzle type experience to unlock a little bit like leading up to Doom, like you're tracking through a whole bunch of different things to figure it out, almost like how Cloverfield did its viral marketing.
Mm.
I think something like that could get people pretty enthused about it, but I don't think that's what they did.
I like the idea though.
And then the
Yeah.
final piece of news, Marvel Zombies teaser number two. What did you think of it, Greg? Are you still as hyped? Less
Yep.
hyped? More
Nope.
hyped?
Yep. Yes. I was answering each one of your questions.
All right. Are
Yes,
you
I'm
Greg?
hyped. My what?
Are you Greg?
I'm Greg.
Okay.
Yes. Did I say otherwise?
No, no, I was just throwing you random questions, see if I could
Oh,
trip you up. Yeah.
yes. Still Greg. Still excited about Marvel Zombies. Yeah, I don't know. It really caught my attention, man. I thought I was not really expecting a whole lot out of this. It
Mhm.
does seem like there's a little bit of tie-in now I think about it though with end of the like the what if
Yes, they've
zombies,
said
Yeah,
right? Which I
there
thought they
is.
weren't going to be,
no,
but
they said they were
what? When?
um
I
a
thought this
while
whole
back.
time they said they were going to.
Yeah.
Like when I went to the animation panel at the last D23, and they did a big Marvel animation panel, and like they brought them out there, and he was like straight out of the storyline of What If, like we're expanding that into a full movie. So it
Huh.
always seemed to me like they were planning on kind of continuing that story. Although that being said, I don't think that you're gonna miss a lot if you just come into it brand new.
Yeah.
No. Man, I don't know where I got that from then, because I was under the assumption they were kind of just doing something different. But
hmm I
either way,
Yeah, I do think you and I had a conversation at one point in time where I made the comment about it potentially being a little bit odd if it feels like you should insert the what if episode at some point in time in the show. Like, it seems like we're doing the kickoff of the zombie event, and we're going to have more of a conclusion to the zombie event than we got in What If. So that means the events of What If take place somewhere during that, and are they going to ignore it enough so it feels like you don't have to have seen that, and it feels like there isn't something that is you need to watch inserted into the middle of the story? I think that's possibly where you got that idea from.
I don't know, but I'm gonna unsubscribe from that channel, whoever gave me that false information.
What did you think of the trailers, Ryan? How excited are you about this?
I mean, I'm as hyped for it as I can be. I think like we talked about this on the last episode. None of the animation bar one ranked super high on my list, and it's not that I don't like animation. I do. I like the animated stuff. It just feels like okay. Like I don't know. I don't know that I'm ever going to get as excited for a one-off
Yeah.
animation. Now, like if this was tied more directly into the MCU with like this was their Battle World Marvel Zombies like we saw in the comics, and like that could be kind of cool. But it just feels like it's its own one-off thing. Although, now that I say that out loud, a huge twist reveal that all of the What If episodes were just different universes that were all destroyed in the incursions could be a pretty cool way to tie What If into the main MC. But I don't
hmm
really get the vibe that that's what they're doing here at all. But
Yeah.
I would love to see that. But I'm still excited. Like, don't get, I'm going to see it. I'm going to enjoy it. But it'll probably land with me right where What If did, where I'm like, that was awesome, and then like, I don't know if I'll
Yep.
think about it much after.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
But we'll see. It could be amazing. It could be
hmm
like the best storyline ever. So
Yeah, I do think they've done a good job of teasing us with some very solid visuals. I love the shot of Shang-Chi and Katie, and then the zombies falling, like raining down off the
hmm
rooftop towards them is just, it's like unique visuals for not necessarily zombie stuff, but for cartoons for sure.
hmm I think it's gonna be just like 4 episodes. I'm kind of like what Ryan's saying. It's gonna be great, and it's just gonna be its own thing. And I think I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is.
hmm
And then that's it. Maybe I'll watch it again in the future someday. But
Yeah. It can kind of be like Werewolf by Night. It's like, oh,
right.
I want to watch
yeah,
something at Halloween. Werewolf by Night
That's
or
fair.
Marvel Zombies.
yeah, yep.
All right, so that was it for the news. We're on to 30 through 11. Greg, you don't have to list them off all at once, just 30 through 26. What made that section of your list?
30 through 26. Okay. 30. Hawkeye.
Okay.
How do we want to do this? Should I just list them all out?
Yeah, list them all out then.
Okay. All right. 29. Iron Man. I feel like I need to redo my rankings. I don't know. Like I don't trust myself for some reason. 28. Really? Shang-Chi? Okay. That's 28. So that made it above Iron Man somehow.
You compared those two at some point in time.
I think maybe Iron Heart and Iron Man were getting interchanged in my own brain.
That's a
Whoops.
big difference.
It is a huge difference. Okay. Well, anyways, we'll keep going with this. So after Shang-Chi, it was Ironheart. And then Iron Man 3 for 26? The hell's going on?
Greg, you have a lot of
I
explaining
got
to do.
I got a lot of explaining to do to myself. Okay, well, anyways, Hawkeye. I really liked Hawkeye. So it was The ending kind of fell a little bit flat, but I still think it was a great show and it had a lot of heart to it to me. And so and that kind of falls kind of in that center range, right? We got
Yep.
so um followed by Shang-Chi. That's the next up the ladder. And now oddly, this is not one that I would go back to all that often.
Hmm.
Like the beginning started off really strong for me, and then it lost me kind of towards the end. So I'm really not liking my choices here. Um, but I do like the character. I don't know. I like what they did with the sister brother thing. It was cool, but move on. Ironheart, it's a little bit fresh. It's a little bit recency bias, but I thought it surpassed my expectations of what I thought it was going to be. Kind of by a
Yes.
long shot, actually. Um, I thought the acting was great. It was a little bit, I think Ryan kind of mentioned before, how it was a little bit pieced together or just I
It
don't remember
felt
how you
felt weird to have had her introduced already, I think
Yeah,
is my
I
yeah.
think that felt to me like it almost felt like an origin story, except like I was like it wasn't like someone. I mean, they introduced a lot of new elements, but yeah, it was weird that she was introduced in Wakanda Forever and played such a prominent role in that
Yeah.
show. To me, it was weird.
yes.
Yeah. So and making the suit out of a car was a little bit interesting choice. I don't know.
That was
But
actually my favorite part of the show.
really?
Yeah, except I was just like it was like a little disappointed that it lasted like 5 minutes and then it was like done. Like she didn't do anything cool in that cool suit.
I just can't believe you can make an Iron Man suit out of a car. I just don't know how the parts,
Tony
especially
Stark built it in a cave.
I know.
With a box of scraps.
That was a setup. Okay. Anyway, I'll move on. 26 was Iron Man 3. It's kind of it always comes up as my least favorite Iron Man, but then I think of the Iron Legion and it gets me like I like it. I just the villain thing was not my favorite, but I do like I liked seeing Robert Downey Jr. doing problem solving outside of the Iron Man suit, and I like the kid. I like the anxiety aspect of him really battling with that. It kind of really gave Tony Stark's character depth in a way, and it made it believable when you kind of see him in Civil War and having all these anxieties and about protecting the world and all that, and suit or armor around the world. It just it worked for me in that sense. So, and it was fun to see all the Iron Legion, the whole suit, like all of those come in. So, yeah, that's my chunk. Who's up?
Ryan, you're next.
To 2023
30 to 26.
through 26. Oh, five of them. That makes sense. All right, my 30. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. 29, for me, Daredevil Born Again. 28 is Moon Knight. 27 is Captain America Civil War. And 26 is the original Iron Man. So I guess I'll start from the bottom there, like we've been doing. So Doctor Strange and I loved a lot of what this did. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. So I love the movie like in general terms, but like its role in like everything, I don't know, it felt pretty mid by the end. Like I enjoyed a lot of what it was doing, but it is kind of a forgettable. And I liked that it introduced like the evil Doctor Strange and the incursions and like the time potentially to What If. I just felt overall like I don't know, I could take it or leave it. Daredevil Born Again, we're right in the middle, right? Like that's the hard part. Like we are right in the middle, and that was one that I felt I really, really enjoyed the original Netflix Daredevil series. Bringing it back, it felt a little too tame. It felt a little rushed. It felt a little bit like it wanted to build on it. And I know that it had issues in with reshoots and like they changed the tone of it multiple times. So I almost kind of want to not put that on my list and wait for season 2 to come out and then kind of judge it more
Yeah.
as a whole because I think that that's going to be a little bit more fair when we see the second part.
Yep.
Moon Knight again. I loved. I mean, we're in the territory now, 30 and up. I love every single thing here. So it was really really hard for me to look at the top 30. Even my top 10 was even harder. Moon Knight, I loved it. There was just man, some of those scenes are so cool. The scene of them like moving the stars through the sky will stay with me probably forever. Like I thought that was visually like one of the coolest moments in the MC. But again, I just like I don't know. I don't rush out and rewatch it. Like I don't feel the to like cheer for Moon Knight anymore. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know why that one's 28. It just was. So in Captain America Civil War, I was never as big of a Civil War fan as a lot of people. I wanted I like my solo movies to be solo movies. this didn't feel like a Captain. I said this when I walked out of the theater. I was like, it was a great Avengers movie, but it did not feel like a Captain America movie, nor did it feel like a Civil War movie.
Yeah.
And maybe this was again, I've said this before, but an expectation bias of like loving the Civil War storyline. How that literally you watch the Avengers break apart at this, and they just literally like wage war against each other, and that was like summed up in one fight at the airport, which was cool. And I love that they brought in Black Panther in this movie and Bucky, and there was a lot of really cool things that I loved about it. It just, I don't know. I wanted more Civil War. I wanted more on Cap. You know, the stuff that they do with like Cap becoming Ronin and like running off in between Civil War and Avengers, where or like where he's off the grid, so to Nomad or Nomad, right? That was what he was
Yeah.
called.
Yep. Nomad.
I wanted more of that. I wanted my undercover, underground Civil War, but I didn't really get that. All right, and then 26 was the original Iron Man. I will always, always love Iron Man for kicking off the MCU, but I just believe there's been 25 better movies since that one came out. That's really it. Like when I was looking at this list and like trying to compare the ones I like really love, it didn't make it to the top 25. So but I mean, I still am great, especially considering what it did for the MCU and what the comic book landscape looked like back then. Like I saw that movie in theaters like 4 or 5 times, so I love
Mhm.
it. But it just like I don't know, like 25 movies I like more.
It's a good
It's
way to put
fair.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
For me, my number 30 is Spider-Man Far From Home. 29, What If? 28, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. 27, Hawkeye. And 26, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay,
I think with those two Spider-Man films, they're very solid Marvel films, and I like them a lot. I'm very much in the same kind of camp as Ryan, where probably even before 30, like I'm looking at my list and go like, yeah, I'd watch that again. I'd watch that again. And I like them down a long ways. When you get towards the top here, these are things that I just love, and you have to sort somehow. And I think that those movies are just especially Far From Home, I thought was just slightly less consistent than some of the other movies.
Did it feel a little messy?
Yeah,
Like, just a little bit.
a little messy in a way that didn't always make sense, sort of thing. What if I just enjoy the episodes? There are so many episodes where I'm just like, that is a great episode. Um, Outside of the first season, I don't know that they landed any of the seasons super well for me, the other two, but it just has some such memorable what if episodes. Had they not tried to tie it all together and just given me 9 completely unique episodes every time, that would have been good enough. Wakanda Forever is the Black Panther film out of the two that I prefer. I think that Namor is a great bad guy. I love to see the heroes struggle and struggle with like loss and things like that. So Shuri having everything like break down around her and then having Killmonger show back up again to tempt her in the ancestral plane is just like that's storytelling elements that I really like. I do think there are certain things where I'm like, why did you do that? Ironheart, for example, she she was an important part of that movie, but she was mainly just a MacGuffin. They didn't give her character development, a lot of character time in that film. It was just, we need her because she's the character we think is smart enough to discover how to detect vibranium, sort of thing. But I really enjoy that film and introducing Namor there and the Talokan.
that
I'm
was my
excited to
favorite
see
part.
what happens with them next.
That was my favorite part.
And then Hawkeye, echo basically the same things Greg said. Lots of really good stuff. Introducing Kate Bishop was awesome and fell a little bit shy of what it was. I think some because they made Fisk so cartoony for it. But yeah, I like it. It's a good Christmas watch.
Yeah, it is. I watch it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like it has like that part where he's on his phone, on the phone with his kid, like
Yeah.
that. That's like pure Christmas, like heart-melting joy.
Mhm.
The way, like that, whatever he said to his kid, "I'll be home, I promise," and
Yep.
I don't know, love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas watch.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Greg, next five. So
25
25
through
to
20.
21 on. 21.
21. All right, 25. X-Men 97. Yeah, I was actually, and I was looking kind of ahead, and it's all just good stuff for me. It's going to be, kind of
Yeah,
hard to really get in depth on these besides just saying what I like about them. So X-Men 97,
I mean, I'm rocking the t-shirt that says why. I'm
right.
rocking the Remember It t-shirt.
Uh, it was a lot. It was really good. I was just so pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what I was gonna if I was gonna like it or not because it had a special place in my heart. The X-Men cartoon did, and I was like, can they pull this off? And are they gonna be able to pull it off for a 40 plus year old, right? And obviously, I'm a nerd enough to like, yeah, they did. It was great. So. I don't know. I'm looking forward to what they do next on that. So
Yes.
we have Ms. Marvel at 24. I'll just keep going here, then I'll go back and talk about them. But 23 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. 22, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which again, I'm kind of questioning that one. 21, Daredevil Born Again. All right, flipping back, we already talked about X-Men. 24 was Ms. Marvel. Did I say that one? Did I miss
Yes.
that one? Okay.
You said it.
Ms. Marvel. I mean, Amon Vellani. Petter, do I need to say more?
Nope. I'll talk about it in the future.
Yeah. Just whatever Petter says and take it down a couple notches for me. Um,
Hasn't been on Ryan's list yet either, I
no, that's
believe.
true. Yeah. Yeah, just really good. It was fun, and she just lights up the screen. So, um, Quantum Mania. God, I don't know.
Made it higher on your list than mine by far.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of shocked. I honestly like when I'm going through that ranking machine, I don't recall hitting it so many times, but it must have.
Those ranking. I'll just not derail. The ranking engines are kind of weird because like if you put it like if you say, "Oh, I liked it more than X Men '97," and then you liked X Men '97 more than everything, it's gonna think that you liked it more than anything as well. So like it's like a weird way that it breaks it
Yeah.
down sometimes.
Okay.
It's true, according to what you said, what you told it.
Right.
That is a true statement. But sometimes, yeah, as you see stuff, there's no good way to correct that midstream. Yeah.
Uh, so we're just gonna have to go with this as a source of truth for me at this point, so I'm not gonna go through 50 plus shows and try and rank them because it's
Again,
just not
and
gonna work.
for a couple of years.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Where was I? 23 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wait, whatever. I thought there was some really great parts about it. It was funny. Just don't know the direction that things are kind of going with it. It just didn't work in parts of it. The Kang thing, I think, really just even after the fact,
Hmm.
after Jonathan Majors stuff and that drama, it really even sucked the wind out of what I liked out of the
Yeah.
movie a little bit because you just are like, okay, well, there's nothing much to that anymore. So it kind of like just pulls it down naturally in that sense. But um, I think it was cool. I thought there was some cool aspects to it. I'm trying to think when he divides into multiple different Ant-Man
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's got some good stuff in it. But I think it's higher ranked than it should be on my list. 22 was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And honestly, I'm gonna flat out say this is my least favorite one, and I don't know why it's
You're second. Because you
yeah, I
have
don't
Guardians 3 lower than it.
yeah, I really feel like it should be flopped around. So, but at the same time, when I'm thinking about okay, if it comes on the television, am I watching it? Yeah, I am. And it's weird. I always get sucked in, even though I'm like, God, it's not my favorite one. I still will end up watching it and actually be like, oh, that was fun. So
And yeah, I'm not sure you can say that about Guardians Volume 3. If that shows up on TV, I'm not sure I'm stopping to watch that
Oh,
because I have to be emotionally prepared.
right? That's true. That's true. Um, 21 was Daredevil Born Again. I am just gonna echo what Ryan said because that it's spot on. It's hard to really feel like this has a valid spot there, but it would if I can get another season and it kind of mends some of the things that were stitched together roughly in the first one, I guess.
Hmm.
Is how to put that. I don't know. All right, I'm out.
all right, 25 to 20, right?
25 to 21.
To 21. That's fine. All right, so 25, Avengers Age of Ultron. 24, Ant-Man. 23, Eternals. 21, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Or sorry, 22, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 22. Well, I can't speak. Whatever the twos are, they're all the twos. 21, Agatha All Along. Which I haven't heard these on your guys' list, so I'm thinking that we're maybe off on some of these with each other. Again, top 25. So I was never one of those people that hate Avengers Age of Ultron. In fact, another movie that has one of my favorite shots in all of the MCU when they're fighting in the forest and they're all jumping at the same time. One of the coolest shots in the MCU again. I like a lot of what Age of Ultron is doing. It never really figured out exactly what it wanted to do with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Like I like that they introduced them. It was just like a weird. It was just like a weird. It was just a weird introduction for them.
Yeah.
They
And then a
couldn't figure
quick
out if they.
eggs.
What's like? Are they mutants? Are they? Like they whatever. Like it
Yeah.
was a weird thing. That was and I don't know. I like a lot of what Age of Ultron did. I love James Spader as Ultron. I love the dinner party scene where they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. I just had a lot I loved, but ultimately, for whatever reason, I just felt like I liked these other movies more. Which brings me to Ant-Man, which is in a pretty similar position. You're going to hear this a lot from me from these mid-range ones because when we're looking at like 15 to 25, a lot of these could have probably been anywhere. Like the line between how much I like Avengers Age of Ultron and Ant-Man and then Eternals is very thin. Ant-Man is fun, very serviceable movie, fun movie, funny movie, but not one that I just like rewatch a ton. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. A lot of the movie's great. Yeah, I don't know. Just
Have you seen it too many times?
maybe that's it. I mean, I've seen it a lot of times.
Yeah.
So
I feel like comedies have that risk more than other movies because you just start to be like, I've heard that joke before and it's not as funny, like law of diminishing returns or something like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, but I think when I look at my list of everything that's above it, I think, and I think this for all these movies, as we get up in these levels, you're going to see more and more and more heart, which is something that I really enjoy in a movie.
hmm
So Eternals, I love Eternals. Like I thought Eternals was great. I wish it had been a miniseries. I wish it had been longer.
Yes.
I wish it had more
Agreed.
time to build out those characters. But I think that there are fans, and I haven't heard. You guys haven't even mentioned Eternals yet, right?
Both of us, I
I
believe,
might have.
Okay, I
did
don't remember. I'm
already.
sorry. I don't remember what was on
47
last
for me.
episode. So
49 for me.
okay, well, Eternals for me had this like I'm a big mythology guy. I'm a big literature guy, and so like seeing these characters like Gilgamesh and Athena, like they're jumping from history. Like I guess I
hmm
was able to connect to it a little bit more because like I understood what they were going for. Like these are the heroes of ancient times. Like they just were Eternals. They weren't like sons of gods. They were just like these caretakers. And there were some really 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 cool scenes in Eternals. And I like the love story that was present. Like I don't know. It worked for me on a level that I think it didn't work for a lot of people. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, really like that one. Again, like the stuff with ego being, and I always tell myself, or like I say that I'm not like this big comic stickler, but then I find myself commenting on some things like I didn't really love the way that Ego, the Living Planet, was like just a guy. Like
hmm
felt kind of weird, and I get what they were doing with the story. And part of it also might be that I'm like such a big fan of Star-Lord and his lineage and his history in the comics and like his relationship with his dad in the comics. It was so different. It felt like such a left turn from what they'd established. And that's fine. Like they were telling their own story. It just didn't land as well with me, considering they like never really did anything with this like power that Peter Quill has. Like the fact that he's like basically half celestial or whatever. And then I get it, like his dad dies, but like spoiler alert. Anyway, liked it, but I didn't love it as much as some of the other ones. And then number 21, Agatha All Along. This could have been higher. The only reason it wasn't was like watching Agatha week to week. I did feel like some of the episodes in the middle just got me like I just felt like they were like it was just this very formulaic. It was like they go to a place, there's a crisis, they have a time limit, they have to solve it, they manage to get away at the last second. And there was like 3 episodes in a row. But I really I love the acting, I love the music, I love the big twist. I don't know. I think Agatha had a solid 21. Maybe it could have made the top 20, but I'm pretty comfortable with my list.
hmm So we will hear a few repeats in here, including one three-way crossover in this clump of five. My number 25 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Just apparently, this is the
Yeah,
sweet spot for
right in
it.
the middle for us.
The all right.
Yep. 24, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I like it the whole way through. It is really fun. It just, honestly, it maybe would move up if we already had Shang-Chi too.
I feel, or he had been in anything since. Yes, I feel
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yep. 23, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay,
I love
close.
this one. James Spader is so good in it as Ultron, introducing the twins and immediately killing off Quicksilver. Bold choice, Cotton. But
Really was.
yeah, there's just a lot of fun scenes, and I really liked how they built the relationship between Hulk and Black Widow in this.
Interesting.
It
Yeah, it
was
was good.
just, yeah, it was well done and felt more natural than some other comic relationships. Um, 22 for me is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think it's slightly better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, though, as I said when Greg was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'd watch that on television probably anytime. Can't say the same for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And
Unless it's
then,
the last scene, the
yes,
hallway
unless
scene.
it's hallway scene. And the number 21 for me is Thor. Think that I'm the high person with
You
Thor.
are.
I like
Wow.
Thor a lot as a character, and this movie is just it's fun movie, and I think they do a solid job of introducing a new character into the MCU that's I mean, fair like the whole thing is fairly brand new at that point in time, and making him feel kind of pompous, like you would expect a Norse god to be. And this is one potentially where, had Thor not had his very nice character arc through the end of Endgame, we won't talk about Thor Love and Thunder and whether or not that character arc continued in there. But I think this is a great spot to have had the character start at and to have to start to learn humanity. So I like that element of the story. Yeah, so those that's my five.
Interesting. I'm,
Yeah, I see that about Thor, and I said this too. Like at the time, Thor was great. Like I mean, you didn't even mention how, well, maybe like the fact that Loki went on to become such a
Yes.
big important character. Like again, I think that's something that maybe some of these movies are ranked a little lower because like it felt like they were ones and dones, or like we didn't see those characters again. But like Loki ended up becoming like a fan favorite of the entire MCU. So I think
Yep.
that always, we'll put Thor a little higher.
Yep. Greg, what's your 20 through 16?
20 through 16. Okay, we got 20 Thunderbolts asterisks.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
where'd you guys have this one? I don't remember. Have you guys had
Um,
Haven't
this one yet?
haven't had it yet.
Nobody's had it
haven't
yet.
said it
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Recent rewatch
Hmm.
for me, and I still love it. I honestly do. Looking ahead at some of the other ones.
I think this speaks volumes just about the amount of quality Marvel has put out.
Sure.
Yes. I mean, I have nothing really bad to say about this. I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. So,
That's the standard for Greg's list from here on out.
that's
He's
it.
thoroughly
And
enjoyed or loved all of
peace out. I'm gonna go watch the game now.
them.
No, I'm excited for kind of hopefully seeing more of these characters. But that movie alone, yeah, I just really liked it. I don't know. Number 19 for me is Guardians of the Galaxy. That again, that pops on the TV. I'm watching it. It just
Yep.
it's kind of just solid choice. It's got all the aspects I'm looking for. And it was one that really, when it came out, I'm like, I don't know what this is. What are they doing here? Well, I mean, I didn't know how James Gunn was going to do it, but he started something with this movie, I think that Marvel needed
Hmm.
and carried that through. And so I just think this is probably the best one out of the three. 18 is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Uh, there are things that I don't really love about this movie, i.e. the music note
Music.
scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just took me out. There's some Raimi stuff in there that I just
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, wait.
it pulled me out, honestly. But that's just me. But aside from that, it took me it to so many different places, and visually was just a fun watch. And I was looking forward to the things that it was hinting at. Still hoping some of those things pay off. But yeah, I just it had a lot of interesting things that kept my attention, and um, not not every Marvel movie has that. So, Spider-Man Far From Home is my number eight, no, 17. Yep, 17. Um, it's a, I don't know, it's a Spider-Man movie. Like I like them all. This is probably my least, well, yeah, this is probably my least favorite out of the three. So that might tell you something on the list.
Well, we
Uh,
already know that.
yep. 16, Black Widow. So this one has, I think, moved up quite a bit since maybe the first time we've done
Yeah.
this.
Yes, this is much higher for you.
Um, I love how you know all my, still know all my rankings. I don't remember.
I don't know precisely what number it was, but I know that I had it ranked higher than you last time.
Yeah, I think I rewatched it a couple. I've seen it a couple times, and it's Ryan. You might have said it's like one of your favorite, like is beginnings. I think is that what you
Yeah,
said?
yeah, one of the favorite like intros to any, not even just Marvel movies. I love that intro, like them
Yeah,
just like having their normal family life and then just like rushing out, and then the credits scene, but then Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit was so good too.
right. Yeah. Um, so just a super underrated movie, and I think it belongs definitely up here in the top 20. So, um, and then was that it? 20 through 16?
Correct.
Yeah, all good stuff. Kind of hard to really go too far in, I
Yeah.
guess, without repeating.
All right. Again, am I 20? I'm 20 through 16. 20, X-Men 97. 19, Miss Marvel. 18, Hawkeye. 17, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And 16, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Again, we're in the top 20 now, so I'm going to just, there's really no negatives to any of these shows, and these I will just gush about all of them. X-Men 97, like, I mean, I literally grew up on X-Men. That was the cartoon that pulled me into Marvel at a very, very young age and made me fall in love with the X-Men, fall in love with superheroes. That was my show. So they brought it back with so much love and so much care. And I still loved it. It didn't make me feel the same way it did when I was a kid, but like I still loved it and got really hype on it. But it probably the reason that it landed on 20 for me is it was still more of the same. It did not introduce me to new, other than like some really cool moments. For like which brings me to 19. Miss Marvel, loved it. Just like their take on Miss Marvel was so cool. I love the energy of the show. I love her family. I love how like just how much fun everybody seems to be having while they're making it. Like Miss Marvel is just a joy to watch, and it is I don't know like everything. Like I'm so glad that like she's come back and that we're gonna see her even in more stuff. Um,
Yes.
I love Miss Marvel. Hawkeye beat it out slightly because you nailed it, Greg. I love Christmas. I love Christmas. This is a Christmas movie. This is like any people argue that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Hawkeye is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard. And I
Mhm.
literally like will watch Hawkeye with my friends at Christmas. We set a day aside and we watch Hawkeye. We drink hot cocoa. We eat cookies. Like it's become a fun tradition because like it's one that you can watch in one day. If you really feel dedicated, we watch like half in the morning, half in the evening, and it's just a lot of fun. It puts me in the Christmas spirit immediately.
Mhm.
And it's because it's like they pick the most grounded character. Like at the end of the day, it's like he's just trying to get home to his family. All this other stuff that's happening is like completely incidental. It's a guy trying to get back to his family, and all this stuff happens.
Yep.
Not to mention it introduced Kate Bishop, which was amazing. It brought back Yelena, which was incredible. We have all of the LARP group, which I love. Like there's so much
Yes.
happening, and or Blade Master and
Swordsman.
Swords.
Swordsman. Thank you. My
Yep.
goodness. Like all these characters being in it were awesome. And then this is another one. I love the opening. I love getting to see the perspective of the battle for New York from Kate's point of view as just like a
Oh
civilian
yeah.
at that moment. Like that was a really really cool scene. So,
Yeah.
uh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This probably would have been higher if it wasn't just so freaking sad. You nailed it, Peter. Like I need to be emotionally ready to watch this movie. It was so hard to watch. It was so sad. Like I left the theater in tears. But again, it did a lot of cool stuff. It had a great villain. I
Hmm.
cannot. There's no way I'm going to remember the name of the actor or be able to pronounce the
Um,
name of the actor. But he was phenomenal. And just everything about that movie was great. What they did with the character growth was great. What they did with Gamora and Nebula was great. Drax coming to his role as like a father figure was great. Like I don't know, it just was sad. So that was 17. I think that was 17, right? 2019. Yeah. 16, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Again, loved it. Like it was a tough call to put this not in my top 15. I love kung fu movies and like they
Hmm.
nailed the action scenes. Like they nailed the action scenes. That bus scene, amazing. That fight on the bus is amazing. The fight where he's fighting his teacher. I don't remember that character's name. You probably would. Do you remember that character's name?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, when he's fighting his mentor in the abandoned building, like all of those fight scenes were really good. The only fight scene that I didn't love, I didn't love how CG filled the ending was. For a Hong Kong movie that had so many practical effects, that knocked it down a little bit. And also, like you said, the fact that we've never seen him again just kind of makes this movie exist in this nebulous space where it's like almost you forget about it, but yet some of the scenes are so good that I will never forget about them. So that's kind of balances it out a little.
Mhm.
Nice.
And it needs some support to lift it up, I think, in rankings almost.
Yeah, it needs something to bring it back into the consciousness.
Which
Yeah.
he will be back, so
Yes.
that's good. But yeah,
Yep. For me, number 20 is Ironheart. I really liked what they did with that movie or show,
hmm
and I like when Marvel really focuses in on that main character, the title character of a show. Whenever they can really dive in on that title character, I think they do that's when their best shows are. And to deal with Riri Williams' panic attacks and just how real they could make that element of it feel and really connect you to the character that way, I thought was super well done. 19 for me is Echo. I love that one start to finish. Um, a deaf superhero or anti-hero is so unique, and the fact that Alaqua Cox is able to do so much with that character in that role without being able to speak. Like it's not an option for her to speak or for there to be dialogue for her character.
hmm
So
And it's like it
she,
was her first like
yeah,
time in front of
yeah.
the camera, I think, too.
Yeah, Hawkeye was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then for me, 18, this is a direct crossover with Greg, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh.
I love the raminess of this. I love the multiversalness of this. It's just fun for me. I'm a big Sam Raimi fan too, so that helps. But getting to see all the different multiverses, Pizza Papa, introduction of America Chavez was just great as well. 17, I'm surprised this one isn't higher, but looking at everything above it, I'm also like, it makes sense. Moon Knight. Moon Knight is a show that I just loved how creative they got with it, and I thought like Oscar Isaac is phenomenal in this. This is one that if they do a Moon Knight season 2 and it's as good as Moon Knight season 1, that it feels like it could move even higher. It also really feels like it needs a season 2,
Mm.
so that might be limiting it a little bit because great, you introduced Jake Lockley. Do something with him now.
right, right. And I hope they do.
Yeah. And number 16 is Doctor Strange. This one has dropped a little bit for me. I think just because there is maybe a little bit less character development for Doctor Strange than some of the things that are higher on the list. But I like what it does, and I liked so much how it introduced a different type of magic into the MCU besides Asgardian magic, which the Asgardians just treat as science, according to Thor.
Sure.
So it was fun to have a new, different type of magic and to explore some really out there things.
All right.
On to your last chunk for this time,
Last
your
chunk.
15 through 11.
Oof. All right. 15 for Greg is Spider-Man Homecoming. 14, Captain America Winter Soldier. 13, Agatha All Along. 12, Black Panther. And is it through 11? Number 10,
11,
right?
yep.
And then number 11 is Spider-Man No Way Home. Interesting about that. Okay.
Greg second
I'm just
guesses himself on
I
everything. No.
I feel like there was another Greg that took this ranking.
It was
Okay.
alternate reality Greg,
Yeah, yeah,
multiverse
which
Greg.
like 868 Greg. I don't know. All right, well, I kind of a lot of these fell into where I look at them again. Am I if they come up on television, which like when it would give me like two to choose from, I'm like, which one am I going to right away on the television to watch? So Spider-Man Homecoming, it was it was such a nice fresh. It wasn't even a fresh take. Well, it kind of was. I really
Mhm.
liked the high school aspect of it. It felt like a high school,
Yeah.
not like there's bullies and jerks, which there are in this, but it's like not at the same degree, right? It's Flash is still a jerk, but he's not like your I'm gonna throw you against the locker and book you in the hallway kind of. So I don't know. I love the high school aspect. I love a lot of the villains. Actually, I loved the Vulture in this.
Mhm.
Keaton did a great job. I love kind of the twists that they had for it. It was fun. Ned was great, the guy in the chair. So just a lot of the pacing was good. I don't know. It had trying to think, is this where Iron Man was? No. Was this where he was? I'm getting it mixed
No,
up. Where he was in like India? No.
no,
That was a different one.
yeah.
Okay. Um, regardless, it's I just had a lot of fun with it. It was exactly what I wanted Spider-Man to be. So, 14, we have Captain America Winter Soldier. Just I find it was a great movie. It was grittier, which is something that was interesting to me. I don't know. Honestly, I t- I don't remember this movie very well. I always get it mixed up with Civil War oftentimes, but I'll just leave it at that. So I think it was still a great movie and well shot. So 13, Agatha All Along. Um, I mean, the way they did that penultimate episode, I think is right the one, right? I think it was some of the best like editing and producing I've seen Marvel do, and that was with Patty LuPone's character.
So that wasn't the penultimate, but
No, was it the
it was the penultimate week because they dropped the last two episodes back to back the final week.
okay. Okay, you're right. So it was the third to the last then.
Yes.
There you go. That episode. It just yes, I did agree with some of the things Ryan was saying about it, but I just I don't know. Aubrey Plaza in it, Catherine Hahn, they all just crushed it, in
They
my
did.
opinion. So the acting was there. It was a unique way to tell the story. Just really well done. Um, Black Panther comes on the TV. I'm gonna watch it. I like what it says. I like kind of the direction. I just like what Ryan Coogler does, honestly. I like how they ended it. I like what Killmonger says at the end. It's very powerful, and I don't know. It just really struck me as a powerful film, and I think it's one of the best they've done. You got Claw in it as well.
Mhm.
The action scenes, I mean, some of those like when are they in Madrid? They're not in Madripoor, are they? They're in
No,
some
Hong Kong or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that where they were going after Claw. Agent Ross shows up too, I think. I don't know. Just some fun fight scenes in it as well. I love the tech in the Black Panther world, so I'm always a sucker for that too. And then I have number 11 as No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. Um, it's higher up than Homecoming, which I'm a little bit shocked at, honestly. However, pulling off that many evil villains in a movie is not easy.
Yep.
It landed pretty well for me. I thought the performances really landed really well for me. And I mean, having three Spider-Man in one movie, it's pretty fun, honestly. So I could see why maybe it ranked it up higher. It meaning me ranked it higher. So that's it.
Okay, well, we got a little crossover here, Greg. Um,
Okay.
15 for me, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
14, Loki. 13, Black Panther. 12, WandaVision. And 11, Spider-Man Homecoming. So,
Oh,
again, we talked about, I know that's maybe a surprise, talked about heart and things. Spider-Man No Way Home. This is an interesting one for me because so much of it I loved, and there was some stuff that I didn't Like it was awesome having all three Spider-Man back. It was awesome getting Andrew Garfield's redemption arc. But there were so many villains. It just felt like they had so little time to focus on anything happening. Electro felt like he was only in the movie just because they needed him to be in the movie. Like it just, but still, again, top 15. Like it was fantastic. And you'll notice I haven't, this is the first of the Spider-Man movies to be on my list. I love Spider-Man. I loved him growing up, love him now. So 14, Loki. Loki had everything. It was everything I wanted it to be. I mean, we had amazing time travel shenanigans. We had a great, the great multiversal Lokis were great. All the stuff they introduced were great. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. This probably could have been higher. I think the only reason it didn't get higher was because at the end of the day, it was a TV show, not a movie, and so I don't find myself rewatching it as much. I don't think no TV show made it into my top 10. I think I just have maybe a little bias for the movies, but Loki probably could have made it into my top 10 if I'd let it. Black Panther, everything Greg said, plus the music. The music was phenomenal.
Oh, the
That's
music.
the first time you see Wakanda when they're going through the gate and you like see the city for the first time and then plays the Wakandan theme. Loved it. What's oh my gosh, the other guy. Not
M'Baku.
yeah, Mbaku, phenomenal. Thank you. I couldn't like they
Yeah.
couldn't
Played
have done
by
a better. If you would have
Winston
done a
Duke.
better, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Winston Duke, like best casting ever. And then Greg already said everything else. Just the Killmonger was a great villain. He had a great story. I read a thing like it was a funny little meme thing where it said like Killmonger basically the only reason that he shot his girlfriend was because otherwise he was too relatable and too likable. They had to make him do something wrong to get people to cheer against him because otherwise he was like kind of morally in the right. But then you're like, oh well, he's also kind of a monster, right? But like,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for him like just murdering his girlfriend in Claw, you'd kind of be cheering for him a little bit. The only reason Black Panther is not higher than me, I'm gonna say the same thing I said for Shang-Chi. We didn't need that CGI fight scene. I don't understand why we needed that goofy CGI fight. Like it would have been so much better to do something like more grounded between the two Black Panthers, right? I don't know. The training day or challenge day fights are so good, and the CGI tunnel fight was not. WandaVision, I think, has some of the most heart in any of the shows and movies that we've. Same thing I said about Loki. WandaVision probably could be higher if I didn't apparently have a bias against these shows in this list, because the ending of that show makes me like a baby, and I don't think Peter, it's not been on your list yet, right? I don't think I missed you saying it, did I?
Nope, I have not
Okay,
said it yet.
okay, because I know we talked a lot about how much we love WandaVision.
Hmm.
Almost made it into the top 10 for me.
And
Just
Greg, has it been on your list yet?
It has not come up for me yet.
Okay,
Yep.
well, so like you guys, we'll talk about it more when you name it, but
Yep.
could have been a top 10. All these at this point were so close to greatness, like any of these could have been top 10. Number 11 was Spider-Man Homecoming. So now you'll by default know my favorite Spider-Man movie, but I loved Homecoming for all the same reasons. Again, Michael Keaton was brilliant as the Vulture. And
Hmm.
I love any Marvel movie that like comes down and like shows you like the blue collar level. Like I just love like Damage Control coming in and like they were just like they were making a living cleaning up after the battle in New York. Like that was like such an interesting storyline. Like they were just
Hmm.
blue collar guys trying to make a living. They were radicalized by this group coming in and telling them like you can't work here anymore. Like I like a good sympathetic villain with heart, and that was one like Vulture is one of the most sympathetic villains we've seen. Like he was never out to hurt anybody. He was just out to get back like what they took from him. And I think that
Hmm.
makes him really sympathetic. And that scene when they're in the cab, like they're in
Oh,
his car, and he's like,
yes.
"My God, that is like such a tense moment." I mean, I was blown away when the first time I saw that movie, and like he opened the door. I was like that was kind of surprising to me. So
Hmm.
anyway, yeah, that is my 11.
Nice.
I was gonna say that car scene. I'm glad you
It's
said it because I
so
was
good.
like
It's
Hmm.
two solid actors in on their craft right there and just doing it right.
yeah, that was so right.
Yeah. For me, coming in at number 15, X-Men 97. Uh, honestly, it comes down to that whole remember it moment. And I am not a person who cries at movies and stuff like that, but like there's a few things that get me, and one of them being that when Rogue is holding Gambit and she goes, but I can't feel him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
jeez.
line just gets me because there's so much emotion put into it. And like the the tension between those two characters throughout the show and how they aren't fully like in the best relationship and friendship at that point in time. Yet in that moment, like she realizes how much she's lost. And there's some episodes like the Mojo bit, it's like, okay, that's something completely different. But I thought that overall X-Men 97 built such a great story.
Yeah.
Number 14 for me is The Avengers. A little lower than I thought it might have been on the list, but again, I look at everything on the list. I'm like, yeah, I understand why. It's really good. Battle for New York is great. The idea of like you need tragedy to form the Avengers, to really bring all these different folks with different mindsets together. And then Loki as the villain. And like when he appears and or he talks about how people want to be led and just he's not a sympathetic villain right then at all, but he's still a very good villain. And it feels great then when, excuse me, Hulk just smashes Loki into the floor.
Uh-huh.
So that's why that one drops there. 13, Guardians of the Galaxy. Phenomenal. Will gladly watch it every time. It really did come out of nowhere in terms of like, I didn't know what to expect with those characters, and it blew me away. But it wasn't just I didn't know what to expect with those characters I saw once and it blew me away. I've watched it multiple times since then, and I still love it every time, even though I know those characters well now. So
Mm.
that's a testament for a really good movie. I definitely have this one by far the highest out of anybody on the list at my number 12, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yep.
I thought that that was great. I thought I loved the twist kind of on Osborn. I love the emotion that they put into Lonnie and his life and getting time to spend seeing a villain being created and not even to the point where he's a supervillain. Like, well, he is a supervillain now, but like he's not fully evil now, but how much more emotion is going to occur if Lonnie continues to slip away from what we saw at the beginning. And it was a great time. I loved having Nico in there too. Like Nico Minoru was a great foil for Peter as
Yeah.
a girl who can just be a friend. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that they did and a lot of things they played around with to kind of subvert the expectations of people who know Spider-Man really well. So I was really impressed by that one. I cannot wait for season two of that. I'm more excited for season two of that, obviously, than I am X-Men 97,
Oh
just
wow.
because X-Men 97, I think I have some idea of like tonally and everything, how it's going to go. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think that has room to surprise me more. And then number 11, this used to be my number three,
Oh,
And okay, I'm curious.
Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, dropped.
It has dropped just outside of the top 10. I think it is, in some ways, it has dropped because I probably have seen this movie the most out of any Marvel movie. And it has a lot of heart. It has a lot of important moments, character development, and growth for Thor, for Loki, for Bruce Banner. Introduces Valkyrie, who's great. Jeff Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster is funny, but I do think because it's a comedy, partially, that drops it down a little bit the more I see it. But then you have Hela and everything that happens on Asgard and Carl Urban's character.
um,
Ex
Why can't I think of it?
executor? No. Uh,
Yeah,
something like that. Was it
something
ex?
like that.
It might have just been executor.
yeah.
Yeah. There's just a lot of fun characters and moments and questioning of stuff in there.
Or no,
So I
Scourge. Executor.
Scourge.
There you go.
Scourge. I had to look it up. Executor was somebody else.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I will gladly watch it still every time it's on, but I also know that I've watched it a lot, so that's why it dropped.
Oh, never mind. I'm also correct. Scourge was also just called the Executioner. So sorry. We're all good. No Marvel crisis here.
That's. I'm glad I agreed to both of those answers because I was right both times.
Makes you look smart, Greg.
It does. I'll take it when I can get it.
So that is all of our 30 through 11. We will be back again next week for our top 10. And I mean, if you've listened to both episodes, you know what's going to be in the top 10. But
also, if you've listened to both episodes, you'll know that Pedro and I's top 10 are going to sound and look very similar, it seems like. Because I've been seeing what you haven't talked about yet.
Now, I do have some shows in there, so
That's true. My shows are already all out. I think every show is out for me. I've talked about them all.
yes. But that'll be a fun time to see where everything lands. So join us again next week and drop your rankings down in the comment section below. We love that interaction, love to see maybe it was what's the most shocking ranking, because last video definitely somebody was very shocked with my ranking of Captain America Winter Soldier. So
I also was.
yes. Greg wasn't, just because
We've already gone
done this
around that
before.
horn. Yeah.
So leave your comments there, and we appreciate everybody checking out the podcast. Greg gave a few ways you could help support the podcast at the beginning. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdologists. The funds go to help improve the quality of this podcast, as well as the Malts and Meeples YouTube channel, the 10 Minute Marvel YouTube channel, and nerdologists.com website. But once again, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us for this, and we're excited to have you back next week for the top 10s, and maybe we'll do a quick little talk of preview for Marvel Zombies as well. So, yes, thank you so much for joining us. With that, we'll see you next time.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.